Winkler finally addresses JerryReed at 79. On October 30th, 1945, in New York City, Henry Franklin Winkler was born, one of the most beloved and enduring American entertainers. With his warmth, humor, and perseverance, Winkler's life is one of resilience, inventiveness, and kindness and talent triumphing over hardship. From a dyslexic student to an Emmy-winning actor and author, his courage and determination are inspiring. Manhattan schooling presented Winkler with several problems. He struggled academically and was labeled lazy or stupid by teachers and parents until he was diagnosed with dyslexia. His confidence suffered from these early setbacks. They also inspired a strong desire to succeed in a world that didn't recognize learning differences. Henry found comfort in performing and storytelling despite his failures. After graduating from Emerson College in 1967, he earned a Master of Fine Arts from Yale School of Drama in 1970. Yale honed his craft and given him the confidence to become an actor. Winkler started acting in theater and tiny TV after graduating. However, his 1974 role as Arthur Fonzie Fonzarelli on Happy Days made him a global fame. His cool leather-jacketed swagger, characteristic thumbs up, and effortless charisma made the Fonz the show's heart after he was written as a minor character. Winkler gave the character surprising depth. Despite his rough exterior, he was kind, loyal, and decent. Fonzie and Henry Winkler were famous by the mid-1970s. Despite his celebrity, Winkler was humble and grateful for the life-changing chance. Winkler struggled to remake himself in a typecasting world after Happy Days ended in 1984. Instead of withdrawing, he became a director and producer. He directed Memories of Me, 1988, and Cop and a Half, 1993, and produced MacGyver and So Weird. His versatility and creativity showed he was more than a role. He was a true artist who excelled in all entertainment fields. With funny character roles in the 1990s and 2000s, Winkler's career flourished. The 1998 Adam Sandler film The Waterboy introduced him to a new generation of fans with his self-deprecating humor and generosity. He won an Emmy in 2018 for his humorous portrayal of acting teacher Gene Cousineau in HBO's Barry, 2018 to 2023, and his role as Barry Zuckerkorn in Arrested Development. These performances showed his tremendous growth as an actor and ability to connect with audiences across generations. Henry Winkler has had a major influence as an author and learning disability advocate in addition to acting. He wrote the Hank Zipser book series with Lynn Oliver, motivated by his dyslexia. Many children have learned from the international bestsellers that learning gaps do not define one's worth or potential. Since then, Winkler has written several series for kids, using humor, empathy, and encouragement. His commitment to literacy and self-acceptance has gained him international educational accolades. Henry Winkler never abandoned acting, even after his writing success. His love of performance drove him throughout his life, and even as he explored new creative possibilities, the screen called him back. Winkler featured in 21 films between the late 1990s and 2017, demonstrating his range and appeal. His final film job was in the 2017 animated holiday comedy All I Want for Christmas Is You, where he voiced Grandpa Bill with his warm, recognizable voice, capturing audiences' heart and humor for decades. In 2016, Winkler played former New York Mayor Ed Koch in Donald Trump's The Art of the Deal, demonstrating his extraordinary comedic skills even in his later years. However, Winkler excelled on television. He surprised audiences with his diverse roles and depth of artistry in the new millennium. In the early 2000s, he played noteworthy roles in The Practice and Battery Pack, seamlessly blending drama and humor. Winkler played Norville the Bird in 18 episodes of Clifford's Puppy Days from 2003 to 2005, providing warmth and whimsy to the show with his unique voice. Winkler debuted in pantomime in 2006, another unforeseen career decision. He played the naughty Captain Hook in Peter Pan at London's New Wimbledon Theatre. His comedic timing and willingness to try new things late in his career were shown in the part. His ability to make a traditional villain charming, funny, and theatrical charmed audiences and critics. Founded on warmth, humor, and mutual respect, Henry Winkler's romance with Stacey Weitzman is one of Hollywood's most enduring and genuine. In 1976, while Winkler was at his peak as Arthur Fonzie Fonzarelli on Happy Days, the pair met. Beverly Hills Apparel Boutique was an unexpected but charming venue to meet. Winkler, a celebrity, went in to buy a sport coat while Stacey Weitzman, née First Man, helped a friend who owned the store. Winkler was captivated by her beauty, elegance, and confidence when they met. He was later fascinated by her effortless self-confidence, unshaken by his fame. However, Stacey saw beyond his fame and found him sincere, funny, and kind. Their connection blossomed naturally through shared values, laughter, and understanding, not Hollywood glamour. They started dating soon after their initial meeting, and Winkler liked her knowledge and independence. Stacey had established her life. Strong and imaginative, she had been married and was raising Jed. Henry loved her familial dedication and calmness in his hectic environment. Time together strengthened their bond, merging their lives and finding they were great together. Stacey balanced Winkler's life despite his mid-1970s popularity, he often said. Henry Winkler and Stacey Weitzman married 2 years after their chance meeting in 1978 in a touching ceremony at the synagogue where Winkler received his bar mitzvah. Winkler's desire to honor his Jewish history led him to marry in that sacred area. The little wedding was full of relatives and friends and connected his past, present, and future. Winkler felt that marrying Stacey in the same spot, he took his first steps into adulthood, completed his religion and familial circle. Their marriage became a lifelong union that has survived celebrity, time, and difficult times. They had 3 children: Jed, Stacey's son from a previous marriage, Zoe, and Max Winkler. Max, born in 1983, followed his father's artistic path as a director and screenwriter noted for his unique narrative and compassion. Henry constantly boasted about his children, saying family was his greatest delight and success beyond acting and producing. Winkler and Stacey's marriage was a Hollywood success story for decades. Their partnership was based on friendship, humor, and resilience, unlike many celebrity couples. Stacey supported Henry through his career highs and lows after Happy Days ended and roles were scarce. She encouraged him to direct, produce, and write children's books that inspired many young readers. Life problems, such as Stacey's brave battle with breast cancer, strained their relationship. Henry supported her through it. Despite everything, the pair loved each other. They endured life's challenges together, their love becoming stronger with time. Henry calls Stacey his rock for her emotional stability and aid keeping him modest and appreciative despite decades in the spotlight. Henry Winkler, recognized for his humility and genuine affection for his collaborators, recently discussed his time with JerryReed. Reed, who co-starred with Winkler in The Waterboy, as the conniving and seductive University of Louisiana Cougars football coach Red Ballou. Reed's portrayal was crisp and hilarious for many, perfectly blending Southern charm and competitive attitude. Winkler found Reed's off-camera time more meaningful than their on-camera time. Winkler said Jerry was a great entertainer. Few people could go into a room and lift everyone's spirits like him. You'd forget he was a country music legend. You felt like an old buddy with him. Winkler said their connection began when Reed, an outdoorsman, shared his bass fishing interest with him during filming. "Fishing was my first experience," Winkler laughed. Jerry said, "Son, you can't come to Louisiana without fishing. Nature is harmed." During production, Winkler loved their early morning fishing outings. They'd gather early morning with coffee and drive to the peaceful lakes near their filming locations. Winkler remembered him arriving in this old pickup vehicle, always happy and whistling. He recounted playing guitar with Elvis, penning songs for Chet Atkins, and creating movies with Burt Reynolds. "I sat enraptured. I realized I was fishing and listening to history." Winkler was most impressed by Reed's natural storytelling, which had made him a country star and popular entertainer for decades. Winkler said every story he told sparkled. He combined wit, passion, and mischief. He was remarkable because of that. He could make you cry with laughter. Finally, he'd remark something that made you contemplate life. Despite the Waterboy's comedic mayhem, Winkler said Reed's presence made filming happy and funny. Winkler remembered his southern kindness on set. He always made fun of things and warned against taking them too seriously. He was flawless in front of the camera. He timed every line perfectly. His acting was like a musician playing every note effortlessly. The 2 men remained buddies after filming. Winkler said Reed often wrote or called to check in. He always asked, "How's my fishing buddy?" Winkler grinned. He was nice, insightful, and hilarious. You adored him. Winkler was deeply saddened by JerryReed's 2008 death. "I recall hearing the news and sitting silently for a while," he remarked softly. "It seems like the world lost some light that day. He was one of those unique beings that lived fully, loved sincerely, and improved everyone." Winkler also remembers Reed anytime he sees a lake or river. Winkler said she remembers his humor, voice, and patience, teaching her to throw the line every time she sees water. "He always teased me, claiming Hollywood people can't catch anything. He was right. I caught barely anything, but it was better. I made a lifelong buddy. Contemplating The Waterboy. Years later, Winkler said he loved the picture since it was a smash and captured a moment with a man he admired. He said he now sees more than personalities and comedy in the movie. Jerry's spirit shines in every scene. He possessed soul and genuineness you can't fake. No surprise it was his last film. In many respects, it was a fitting goodbye for someone who had brought so much joy. Winkler captured JerryReed's essence in his soft, thoughtful tone. He said he lived with laughter, music, and friends. He lived roles, not just played them. He told moving stories as well as songs. I think that's what an artist is. Lucky me to have known him. I'm lucky to have learned about fishing and life from him. One last thought, Winkler said with emotion. I think about Jerry's love of life. Henry, if you can laugh every day, you're doing well, he informed me. JerryReed laughed. I've never met somebody who loved and lived more.